I would want to like just give them a tip of what you stand for, because I know you're a very results-driven and innovation technology leader with a proven record of success in both government and private sectors. And you're recognized as a trusted advisor and strategic partner at leveraging technology to drive digital transformation and enhance government operations. You're also skilled in formulating and executing technology strategies to achieve public sector goals, strong expertise in managing complex projects, fostering collaboration, and delivering measurable outcomes, committed to driving possible change and improving efficiency through the effective use of technology. Please tell me if I missed out on anything here and help me add to the portfolio that I just gave now.
That's more than enough. Let's just get started.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much for making for making this time. So let's quickly get right into the order of the day. So when the Ogun State government decided to launch the Gateway program, what was the mindset? What made them go as in decide that they want to start up a state-based program? What were they trying to like achieve? Give us the how it all started, what the thought process was, and all that. Let's start with that.
All right. So thank you very much, Elizabeth, and thank you everyone that's on this session. I'm pretty excited for you to be here. That means half the battle is done. I'm just hoping that each and every one of you will put in, however challenging it might be. The goal is just to finish the project. That should be your objective. That should be the main driver. Anyways, so if you in Ogun State, there's a lot of stuff that we've tried to do. And I try to put things in perspective, right? So we have the state as a state that has to function, right? And the only way we can drive some of this innovation is via technology. For instance, we've done OGRS tax base that took us several years to automate that process. We're doing an EDMS stuff. We've done a lot of stuff in education. We've done. We're working on the land transformation and stuff. So I just try to, give people that's our primary objective, right? So because the state has to deliver services to the people. Now, outside of that is, then you have, the idea of the Tech Hub by His Excellency, which we started to see how we can, as a state, as a people, how can our people have the right knowledge base, right? For them to be able to get employment or start their own business or venture into other opportunities, whatever that interest is. Because we realize that the biggest asset that we have are the people. Every country knows that. Nigeria knows that. We're not doing enough about it, but I think where we are now, we're just trying to change things, the dynamics of stuff moving forward. So we have, the largest number of youth. The data is there, the statistics is there. But at the same time, when it comes to digital knowledge, right? Using WhatsApp, using Facebook, that doesn't really mean much when it comes to having the right knowledge to be gainfully employed. So the Consulate General came to visit the Tech Hub in partnership with GFA. And one of the topic that came up was this jackpot syndrome, right? Jackpot syndrome in the sense that, everybody wants to get out, right? Not knowing what's on the other end. But, I guess it's so bad enough that, they don't really care. And we thought about it that, okay, if we could, there are a lot of jobs out there that doesn't require you to be in UK or be in US. You can work from anywhere. India is one of the leading countries in that perspective. The Philippines as well. If you do a lot of research, they don't have to leave. They can earn revenue dollars, and just based on their required skill set. So we had a discussion, and he said, well, there are programs that we can run, right? capacity building. Whether you've gone to university or you never made it to university, it doesn't matter. The ability for us to provide that opportunity for people to learn, requires skills. So they're jobs, right? They're jobs from the Microsoft, the Googles, the Meta, Facebook of this world. And if you can meet those requirements, they will hire you. It doesn't matter where you are. You can earn your money, in foreign currency. So in a nutshell, that's what started all this stuff. So GFA being our partner, and the Consular General being there. So that was what started this whole stuff. That how can we put a platform together? Now we know there are challenges, right? So internet connectivity, power issue and stuff. But if we're gonna wait and wait till things, the proper infrastructure is in place, we won't get anywhere. So that's what triggered this program, right? That we have the talent, we have the skills, and I believe in people becoming self-sufficient, right? So we always have this. If I'm spending too much time on this, just let me know. So we always have this mindset that government is going to create jobs. Government doesn't create jobs. There's no way government creates jobs, right? The only job that government creates, you want to be a civil servant, and even now they're not hiring. We're talking about issues of minimum wage and all that. So there's plenty of issues that government has to deal with as it is. Now, what government could do is create the enabling environment. Only the private sector can drive this, right? And drive this success. Right? So create that enabling environment for the private sector, their partnership, whether it's PPP, whatever it is that they want to call it, right? Create that environment. And the other thing is, your own destiny is in your hands, right? I can fire you. I may not like you for whatever reason, right? But if you have something that I need, you have that knowledge, it doesn't matter to me who you are. I'm willing to pay you for that. I mean, at least that's the environment I know. That's the environment I grew up in. So it doesn't matter who your parents are, who you know. I know that environment kind of create that, you got to know, not necessarily. I mean, if I need someone that's good at Excel, right, what does it matter who that person is, where they're from, what they look like? So that's what we're trying to do. So that's the purpose, the main driver behind this program. Like I said, I mean, there'll be challenges on the, we don't control that power, but for you to be on this platform, for us to be having this conversation, that means, 50% of the work is done, honestly. If you can get through it and get your certification, become certified, whatever program, whatever path you're going in, and I mean, at the end of the day, that you have openings, that can match you with a job. And those are skills that you can be self-sufficient, you can be self-dependent, and you can now decide it, right, to take it to a different level, whatever it is that you want to do. So the goal is have the right, do the capacity building, give folks access, to the information, which is what the internet is all about. The internet is built to share knowledge and, research and stuff. That's the genesis of it. So that's what we're trying to do. So that's what this program is pretty much about in a nutshell.
Thank you very much. The whole idea is to keep it real. That's the goal. Let's not, we are not sugarcoating anything here. It's either you want to take the truth, the gospel truth, or not. And I like the fact that you said the government cannot provide jobs for everyone, but the enabling opportunity can be provided. It all depends on you. You also need to do your own part. So another question, while we, guys, the whole idea, you can ask anything. So you just put your question in the chat box. But I'm just trying to lead the narrative here. So there were a lot of private sectors, private organizations. Why did the government decide to collaborate with or decide to work with GFA Technologies to make this happen? So if you could, as intro more context on that, that would really be nice. Why GFA of all?
Oh, so all right, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No. Sorry, I got excited.
All right, so why GFA, right? So so when we started the Tech Hub, so the idea of, okay, we were going to go to, I think Ogun State has, we always talk about, we have the highest number of high institutions, and all this good statistics and stuff. But it's like, so what do we do with it, right? Well, what sort of product is coming out of those schools, especially the technical? I think we have about 5 technical colleges. So we're going to have a hub. There was one of them. I don't remember the name. This was when we started 5 years ago. So we're going to have. I mean, they were graduating more accountants than anything else. I mean, it's a technical college, right? The goal is to graduate people, in technology, right? Whether that's, whether it's software, whichever part you want to go into, whether it's networking, whether it's software development, whether it's database, whatever it is, right? But they're more accountant coming out of there. And that tells you that, maybe the curriculum or the environment, because for technology, right, you have to be able to practice this stuff, which means by the time you graduate, you should be able to hit the ground running. So we didn't have that. So, okay, we're going to set up, mini hubs within this. Then, one day we're driving by, there's this building that's just sitting there doing nothing. So, hey, by the way, let's start a tech hub. Now, it's some of this stuff is easier said than done, right? So, okay, when you start it, then what do you do with it? So you're going to have all sort of folks that have different ideas of, what a tech hub should be, what you should be doing and not doing or whatever. But based on my experience, right, that for you to run it, a government can run a tech hub. Honestly, guys, I'll be honest with you. It takes a private sector, private entity that have trusted, they've done it. And it takes time for these things to mature, right? Which is part of the problem we have, right? Sometimes, like, okay, we want to do stuff within 4 years, or want to do stuff within a year. And for you to do things right and do it properly, right, right, the right mindset, the right level of investment. And a lot of that is, apart from the money, the time, the concept and stuff. So anyways, you can't be dealing with multiple entity, and we know how, as a society, is I can say, oh, Elizabeth, I have one of my brothers is running a tech hub somewhere before, Nicolobo or somewhere in VI or whatever. Can you? It doesn't work, right? We want to run a well-oiled, enabling environment that will give everyone the opportunity. When I mean everybody, whether especially SMEs, right? So GFA at that time, but the first time I met with GFA, I've done my research, seen the background of the founders, the co-founders, what they've done, how much money they've been able to raise for startups and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, this is looking good. By the way, I'm not going to mention the rest of the companies. There's several companies that we met with. But GFA was, they always came out at the top when we, did our research and look at the track record, right? And we were like, okay, now how do we now proceed, right? Because at that time, GFA was going to go to Rwanda to set up their HQ for Africa, right? The Rwanda government was courting them, so was the Ghanaian government and stuff. And it's like, hey, guys, it is Nigeria, right? It is Abeokuta, Ogun State, with the biggest and the baddest, or whatever you want to call it. It just threw the buzzword, but on much of a reality note, right? Said, okay, this is the vision we have. And we would like for you to partner with us, come in here and run this, run this place with us, right? So we can make it successful. Successful in the sense that, I'm here today. I might be gone tomorrow. That's just the reality of life for whatever reason. We need to build something that will outlive, whoever is building it, right? So our goal is just to come in, you play your part, and you make sure that, whatever you do, the sustainability matters. So those are some of the, criteria that we looked at. And GFA also is an American company, but everyone that founded it, they're all Nigerians. And they've done so much across the globe. They're well known. So that's pretty much the reason. Because now you have startups that are going to come up, because startups can provide solutions to, most of the problems we have in Nigeria today. I don't see them as problems. I see them as opportunities. And I just hope that we can start changing our mindset, right? Some of those things that I see as problems, right, is an opportunity for you to start thinking outside the box and say, okay, if there's a problem, what kind of solution can we provide? We can't compare ourselves to America, to all this. We missed the boat at some point, but that's let's leave that behind. This is where we are today. Where are we going as a people? What do we want to do, and how can we contribute? So anyways, that's part of what we looked at, and we decided that, okay, GFA will be a credible partner. And so far, so good. I mean, we've seen the ups and downs in Nigeria in terms of the economy, the forex and all that. So that affects, businesses. If you've ever run a business, trust me, it's not Nigeria is not an environment that's easy to run a business because there's so many moving parts. But regardless of that, as long as you have the commitment, right, which it has, you will. I mean, it will get better. I mean, I strongly believe that. Sometimes it looks like doomsday. It's like, but it will. I mean, every country went through it. We shouldn't be there. We shouldn't be where we are now, but we are here. But one thing that I know is, we have a lot of opportunity. In terms of the technology area, because that's the only thing that's going to get us to where we need to get to. So that's another reason why GFA, that played a role in that. The other area that I'll bring up is that I'm hoping that if we can get that right, trust me, guys, that would be a launching pad. And it's just this power thing, this power and connectivity. I mean, those are because power is the source of everything, right? Without energy, you can, even as a human being, even us being on this call, right? It's the energy, the vibes, that Elizabeth gives. I see a Samson, Oderiwale, Oluwafunke, Idowu Babatunde, Erubami, Stephen, Grace, Unverified, Suraka, Mercy, Adeni. So I wish I could meet each and every one of you. The bottom line is there's something in you, right? There's something, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're still alive, the fact that you're still here, there's something in you. I mean, no matter how discouraging the environment is, trust me, there's that whatever it is, you got to tap into it, right? And how do I put this, right? Only you got to take that initiative, right? So that's why I'm excited that we're all here, because you've taken the first step, right? You took that first step. You signed up. You got emails. It's just going to work. It's just happening. It's just not. Now it's happening, right? So you can log in. So just try and get through it. I know it's not easy. And trust me, no matter where you go, it's not easy. Ours is peculiar. I understand that, but we can get there. So that's why I just want to encourage each and every one of you to just keep up. As long as you can get up in the morning, you put on your own clothes, you can, you're good. We're going to get there. So GFA met all the criteria. They're a willing partner. I mean, that's why they're still here, today. And I'm sure we're going to do bigger and better things moving forward. So that's it. I tend to talk. If I'm running my mouth, guys, just tell me that. Shut up. We have other questions or whatever. That's okay.
We don't get this opportunity all the time, and I'm very sure a lot of our learners here have never had the opportunity to hear you talk one-on-one. So it's a good, please, as much as it's what we are open to, even if it's going to be less than that.
And I'm learning from you guys as well. Trust me, there's no monopoly of knowledge. I have my experience, I have my knowledge. I'm still learning as well. So any ideas? I mean, some things are realistic, some things are nice to have, good to have, but whatever it is, it takes a collective effort. It's collaboration, right? Yeah, we can provide a platform. If you decide not to use it, all right, there's nothing we can do, right? So it takes a collaborative effort. And if there's any challenges that you have, Elizabeth is approachable, whatever. If there's anything we can tweak or whatever, I'm sure they will. But we need to make this a success. Because going back to when the Consular General of American Consular General, when he came to the hub, he was very excited. And he knew it. He saw the opportunity. And I've always said that, I wish. So going back to what I said earlier, my primary responsibility is to see how we transform the state from a technology perspective. Then we marry that, with technology hub to see how we can provide, opportunities and stuff to the public. But I always knew that our strength lies in the people we have, especially the young one. I mean, you can see my beard. You know, I remember when I started work at the age of 16. I was managing a store at the age of 18. Um, right, in the U.S. and I worked. I worked my way through. It wasn't. There's. I mean, of course, it's always good to have a mentor. Very important, and you have to have that discipline. I know it's hard, but you know, no matter how, you need to have that self discipline. So you guys are strength, honestly. At some point, I'll get tired. You know, age is going to take his, you know, nature. I don't know if you guys watched the debate yesterday. I like to, I didn't watch the debate, but I said Biden was struck. The bottom line is nature will take its course, right? You're young, you're agile. This is the time to do it, guys. Trust me. And I, you know, whatever support that I can give within my capacity, from a state. The governor has been pretty supportive, but you guys know. I won't say you know, but it's hard when you there's so many things you got to deal with. So the fact that we're even able to get this done, make it a priority, it's very important. I can't wait to see the first set of batch of folks that will graduate, get the certification, get a job, and start earning dollars or whatever, you know, currency. I like Naira's, but you know, Naira has its challenges, but it doesn't matter. We'll get there. So that's let me
Yeah,
just share the let me take questions and
well
stuff.
said. I'm actually looking at the questions. I want to dive right into it. So guys,
Right.
for those ones that have to relate with the learnings, I will address that. But for the ones that we want to post to our essay. So someone is asking a question. Well, I know you've answered that. Maybe the person just joined in. But I said, my name is Shegu Showme. I want to ask, after the expiration of the program, is there any provision for people who are physically challenged that might want to learn further on the choosing program? So,
You know what? What's the name again? I heard show me right. Is that right?
Shegu Showme, yes.
Okay. Mr. Shegun, showing me. I mean, that's not, it's only male that's not, female don't bear Shegun, so just want to make sure. Um,
Oh,
I could
females
be wrong.
bear Shegu. I have a
But
female friend
anyways,
that is.
so you know, for the physically challenged, right? Honestly, we've never I've never thought about it. I know when we had the Southwest Resource Center that was built by the U.S. During OGD, so you can imagine how they made all the provision. You know, there's a ramp. There's we used to have a mentally challenged department there, but it wasn't properly funded. So this is something that I'll take with me, and I know someone that I'm going to speak with, to see what we could do. Right. And like I said, some of the challenges that we always have is just this, sometimes, when generator, sometimes there's no power, sometimes but I don't believe in excuses. We just got to see how we can, I'll take a note on that one. I'll look at it so you can share your contact details with, uh, Elizabeth, and so we'll look at it and get back to you. Because to me, that's we all won as a people, and we know some folks have challenges not by their own doing or whatever, and we can't leave anyone behind. So that's something we'll look at and see if there's anything that we might be able to do, in another partnership, or what we can do internally. If there's something we can do, fine. If not, I'll speak to the director of the Southwest Resource Center, because they're more, the place is built, to have easy access for folks that not every building in Nigeria does that, by the way, but this was done years ago, but it was done by the American government. So they made that. So I'll speak to her and see what, uh, if the program is still on. If not, what can we do to revive it, and see how that can help or fit into this program. So, Mr. Show me, share your details with Elizabeth, and we'll come back to you at some point.
Thank you very much for that, Susan. So, Shego, please send an email to me. My associates would put my email address there so you could reach out so we could just help see how we can help. So another question is, oh, I was shortlisted in the just concluded Ogun Tech program powered by Tescom. I was disqualified because I am a HND holder in computer science and I have no certificate in the education sector. So basically, I'm a data analyst. My question is, where are we to utilize our digital skills if there is discrimination among the government sector? Two, is there any channel for us to utilize the skills when acquired? Hmm. When we say
All
ask
right. Could you
anything,
repeat that?
you're ready.
I just want to make sure I'll get it. I get it. So just repeat the question,
Okay,
please,
so the
if you don't
question
mind.
is, where are we to utilize our digital skills if there is a discrimination amongst the government sector? That's number one from that person. Yeah, it's a two-in-one question. Then the second one, is there any channel for us to utilize the skills when acquired? I think maybe this person just joined as well. Okay. Yep.
All right. So discrimination by whom? I'm trying to clarify that. So, I mean, who's discriminating against you? I'm trying,
Well, I think going back to
I
the question, he said he was as in he was shortlisted in as in a just concluded program organized by the Ogun State as an Ogun Tech program powered by Tescom, that he was disqualified because he's a HND holder. I don't know what the criteria are. I want to
by
believe that
Tescom?
yes. So I want to believe
Okay.
that
I mean,
every program has a criteria attached to it. So if you were disqualified because you are a HND holder in computer science and you have no certificates in the education sector, I want to believe that, because most problem that we realize most learners is that they don't read the terms and conditions, but they still go ahead and apply. And when they don't get accepted, they feel the system is unfair to them. I want to believe there was a reason, as in maybe you didn't meet that criteria for what they were looking out for. But he said basically he's a data analyst, and his question is, where are we to utilize our digital skills um, if the government sector, if there's discrimination amongst the government sector? I don't know if it's for this for this program or for the one that you have. And is there any channel for us to utilize the skills when acquired? So maybe the person just
I
joined
mean,
in when you were trying.
yeah, I mean, the TESCOM program, I can't speak to that. So I'm sure there should be contacts that you can, you should be able to send questions to ask, why. Was there a criteria that wasn't met? That needs to be clarified. So, I don't know anything about. I don't have much information on TESCOM. I can find out more about it, but I can't speak to it since I don't. I wasn't the one. I wasn't part of the program run out of the tech hub, and government is big, and I unfortunately I can't speak for every agency or department or whatever. So, but I can. I'll go find out more about TESCOM and what they do and what's the criteria that they use. And in terms of utilizing your skills, sometimes if you have a skill set, right, it goes back to looking for job opportunities. And is if there's any other program or any other way I can keep building on my knowledge. So just don't. I won't sit around or sit and wait, or it's okay to voice complaints or whatever, but a lot of time it doesn't get you anywhere, right? So you look at it, and the times in life you're gonna get no a lot. It's not every time you're gonna get yes. So you just take your no, as disappointed as you might be or whatever. Just look at it and go back to the drawing board. I'm sure you'll figure out what your next steps should be. So that's the way I will approach it. It's not everything you apply for that you're going to get selected for. That's just a fact of life. But I'll look at TESCOM. I don't know what the criteria is, because they might have, for every 100 positions, they might have tens of thousands of people applying. So some of these things are very, very, very I mean, the reality of it, it's, of you getting selected is very slim, just based on numbers, right? I mean, if you're a data analyst, you should know that you can put the formula together and say, okay, how many positions do they have? How many people are applying? What are the criteria, right? So they might give preference to certain qualification, compared to others, because that's the only way they can restrict, because they only have so much position that they're gonna. So don't be discouraged, honestly, and don't look at it as discrimination. I mean, 'cause that's a very, very big word, for someone to, you got, discrimination based on what? I mean, that one is, I mean, I'm not dismissing how the person feels, but take a look at it again and go read the criteria and see maybe, um, you know, that's the reason why, I mean, you weren't selected. But whatever skills you have, trust me, it will come in handy at some point. But don't sit around, just try to build up on it and just keep learning.
All right. So, lastly, Matthew is asking, would there be hands-on project for everyone who takes the course, and also would there be internship and job opportunities? Do you want me to take the question again?
The program is run by GFA and partner with us, so they have the course outline. I know you have to have a certification and stuff. I also know that they have there's this group stuff that they have that people tend to work together to assist each other and build each other up. And whoever has the certification, right? Once you write the exams and have the certification, they'll match you to. They have some job openings, some job listings. It's not them. These are things, like I said, go back to the consulate general. So these are American companies that have certain positions open based on the skill set. And sometimes that's a problem. If you don't meet those criteria of the skill set stuff, it's tough for you to even apply for those positions. So that's how much I know about it in terms of I didn't design the program, probably designed by Meta or whatever. But if you can go through it and get a certification, trust me, they know what they're doing. And a lot of times, if you get hired, you might still go through another 3 weeks of training, and they have lab, they have all the stuff that you can do remotely. Doesn't have to be physical. Oh, for Cisco, we have on that we have a Cisco. The Tech Hub is a Cisco Academy, which means we have certain various Cisco programs that we do. I know that we've trained about 6 people, to be certified in terms of, hands-on knowledge, lab, and all that stuff. But we're still yet to put in, get the equipment, but there are programs with Cisco that you can do and, get your CCNA and all that stuff. We have that today. That's something that we run directly with Cisco. So I hope I've answered
Yep.
whatever I can on that
Yes.
question. And yeah, okay.
I'll still throw more light as the ones that are directed. So, someone is asking, can someone with zero knowledge of tech participate? Sorry, please. Can someone with zero knowledge of tech participate in this program? How can people from a far place take part in the program? So, let me just help. Yes, zero. The whole idea is to upskill you. So, and the learnings are already made available on the platform. And sorry, I'm butting in, but for when you say far place, as long as you are part of the Ogun State Indigen, this program is actually for you. If you're not part of, because the benefits are only limited to the indigents of Ogun State. So if you want to throw more light on that,
Elizabeth, can I comment? So, I mean,
yeah, sure, sure.
personally, I don't like. That word indigent, right? That's just not my preference. Is residents of Ogun State. And the reason I'm saying that is so we had to put a law together for the residency registry. Having a database of folks that reside in Ogun State. So I work with the Attorney General So we had to review the laws of, I think Kaduna was the first, then Lagos has theirs. So kind of reviewed it, and I'm involved in it because of the technology side. So it's not that I'm a lawyer, guys. And what we realize is that, so that if you look at the indigene, I mean, it's a word that we use frequently, and I think is, I mean, this is just my own personal view. It could be problematic, right? Especially when because indigene means that for instance, your local government, you got to be from somewhere or whatever. So it's residents. So what we did was just residents. Residents matters. At the end of the day, we're all Nigerians first, and we can accommodate. So I mean, I think GFA has started similar stuff with Lagos State as well. So there's a reason why we have states. That's the sort of government, or how Nigeria decided to run their constitution as a federal. So there are states and there's federal government. So states has responsibility, because Ogun State is not responsible for Lagos. Lagos is not responsible for Ogun, or vice versa, right? So that's why some of these programs, you have to limit it to the residents of those states. And sometimes residents of the states will get preference. That's the way it is. That has nothing, there's no discrimination, whatever. So regardless of where you're from, who you are, as long as you're residents of Ogun State. So that's why the word indigene, not that it's typically what we use in Nigeria, but we've changed that. We changed it to residents. So putting that law together was what gave me a lot of insight about. So the difference between resident and indigene could be, so residents is, I mean, there are people that might be, maybe their parents were born somewhere and they came to Ogun State, and now the kid was born in Ogun. So it's not that, okay, you reside in Ogun State, you were born there, raised there. So as long as you're concerned, that's home. So that's why I just wanted to chime in there.
Thank you
residents of Ogun State.
It was a mistake of my part. Residents. That was the word.
No, don't worry about it. Trust me, I hear that all the time. Even when you go to immigration, like yes. So that's fine.
Residents. I have to change my thought process. So thank you very much for that correction and feedback.
Thank you.
That was good. So there are a lot of questions similar, but I'm just scanning through, and I know we want to keep it within the time frame, and I know you're a very busy person, but I know you've answered on possibilities for internship in tech companies for job seekers, because someone is also asking the whole goal of the program. Someone is asking, is there a possibility for us to intern with tech companies for us job seekers, even if it's not paid? Just so that we can get hands-on experience after learning. That question has been answered before, so it's still a yes. Like you said, there are always criteria for each program, so you need to meet up with that to be able to get that opportunity. Someone is asking, I'm a teacher by profession. I want to ask if there's a provision for teacher in the teaching sector. Are there opportunities for teachers in the teaching sector?
Oh, that would be Commissioner for Education. I can go ask, but I don't know. Honestly, that's Commissioner is a very nice guy, and I'm sure they always. I think they just hired some teachers recently, so that's I don't know. But you have to check with Ministry of Education and stuff. And I'm sure whenever they have openings, they usually advertise it, they put it out there. I mean, as far as teaching jobs, teaching is not my area.
Okay. So this is a two-part question. I'm going to take these questions too, because I was waiting for this question. I knew somebody would not fail me and ask. So someone said, what is our fate? Those that are undergoing the learning. Then another person said that they are presently in the GFA training online and that has since been impactful. Is there any financial aid or plan by the Ogun State government and GFA for participants after the program to help our business, which we have been trained for? What's their plan for us exactly after the training? So that's I was waiting for that So what's good that direction?
Elizabeth can help you with that. I'm not in, you know, one thing I don't
All right.
share age. I don't. Um, to me, is capacity building. That's what I'm interested in. Creating an enabling environment. That's it. That's all I can. That's what we're trying to do. So, if there's any other stuff, I mean, I'm sure they have. So they have this. I know they have several programs of, small businesses, SMEs. Those are the SME programs, mainly just, distributing, giving them grants. That has nothing to do with us. That's not this program. That's totally different. I think a lot of that is driven by the federal government and passes down through the state. And so that's a different program so you can, whoever is interested in that, Ministry of Trade and Industry, you might want to, that might be your stop shop. But in terms of what, the program and, other opportunities are there, I'm sure GFA can, I mean, I think we've talked about that over and over and over again. But in terms of, and they help startup, right? But for startups or for, business looking for investors, matching investors to businesses, that's one of the strength of GFA. But, you know, um, it's not, how would I put it, right? Because I've been through it before. So you hear about, companies raising, trust me, it's not an easy task. Because folks, just keep in mind that this money that is coming into your business, right? These are people's money. These are people's funds, regardless of the name of the fund or whatever. And the level of scrutiny that you're going to go through in terms of your business, nobody invests. Yeah, an idea is great, but everyone has one. Nobody's going to invest in an idea. There's certain things you got to meet. And I think that's part of some of this program for, the current program ongoing. And that's very, very important, right? So you have an idea, that stage. Now, how do you now take idea and go through the steps and make it a reality? Then once you make it a reality, it's something that someone is going to be willing to pay for, right? Whether it's a service, whether it's a product, or whatever it is, right? So they want to see all that stuff. And I just simplified it, right? I just made it so simple. So I have a friend now that's going through an accelerator program, right? It started with about 20, and this guy is a PhD holder, right? When I mean PhD, not just, you read, get PhD. This is someone that's tested, tried, worked, as CFO of companies, worked with the biggest bank in South Africa and stuff. I mean, he almost dropped out of it. 20 of them started because he has a startup. They were grilling them. And it was, this is, I think it was like 12 weeks. So right now, the last time I spoke with him, which was yesterday, out of 20, I think they only have about 6 people left. So I'm just throwing this out there. So for those of you that, business, you want to set up something, great, right? But you got to make sure that whatever it is you bring into the market, whatever product it is, and you're going to need funding, right? Which GFA, I mean, they've funded quite a few companies. I've helped them, because that's their primary, you got to be willing to do the work. It's a lot of work. I'm not talking about someone giving you 100K or whatever. That's not going to get you anywhere. I'm talking about serious, people investing in your business. So that's part of what you have to learn. I'm sure there's a program within this that delves into that. Take it very serious. Trust me. It's not easy pitching to people, and you're going to get to a place you have a pitch deck, and trust me, to you might be the best ideas and sliced bread. But for an investor, what they look for is totally different. So that's another thing you're going to learn. And it's important to learn those things. And like I said, right, there's no overnight success, right? We live in an environment, unfortunately, that some of what we see is not realistic, right? In terms of people being successful and what they did to become successful, it's not realistic. In the real world, there's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of time, a lot of testing that you go through. And that's the beauty of it, right? And you can see progress. So success is incremental. I learned that at my early days. Success is incremental. There's no overnight success. There's no overnight success. Go, like you say, peel the layers of the. It's by the time you see it, it's like, oh, Elizabeth, just And when you start digging down to Elizabeth's background, they realize that she probably started at the age of 15 or whatever. So that's the reality of life. And those are successes that you can enjoy, you can celebrate and stuff. Some of these other successes that, like I said, that we are exposed to in our environment is not true success. That's the reality of it. If you want to do it right, if you want to do it well, what doing well, right? We say that a lot. So just keep that in mind. Don't be discouraged, but there's work involved that you have to do to get there. I mean, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but you got to do the work. So that's and as long as you need support, whatever it is, hand holding. The people that they'll volunteer to take their time. Like when Elizabeth called me that I got to be on this call, right? I just asked her. She was sending messages. I couldn't even respond to messages because I'm trying to see how do I juggle this stuff. I would love to do it, but it's just that time, right? So I have to put certain things aside and say, okay, you know what? Whatever we can do to encourage, and it's not giving people false hope, but letting you know that it is doable. It is doable, and it's just and sometimes we're good at. We sit there and we just criticize. We identify 1,000, a million and one error. But once you do it and you realize that, the person that you criticize. So the bottom line is, if there's a legitimate issue, let's address it. If there's challenges, try to find, how can you find, there's some way, somehow, and hopefully you'll find someone that can help you get through those challenges, right? So that we can get to the end of the end of the line, and that's all it is. So we can't just sit there and be discouraged by the the time that you might. Like I said, going back to power. I keep saying power, and power is an issue. There's no light. The temperature is 90 degrees or whatever it is. We use Celsius and inch. It's tough. But regardless of all of that, right, you can't, I've forgotten where I read this statement from, that if you can't run, right, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Just don't be stagnant. Don't be stagnant, right? Folks that don't have anything, that have lost hope, there's nothing, there's no future for them, they're at the cemetery. Yeah. That means 6 feet under. That's it. Nothing. They're gone. The time has passed, right? And the people younger than us, older than us, same age, every day. So the fact that you're still here, and you still have your health, you still have your mental faculty, right? Don't beat yourself up. Don't look down on yourself and say, oh yeah, this thing is challenging, you need this. No. The opportunity is there. And there are people that don't have the opportunity that you have. You might not see it as, but I'm just looking forward to the first, graduating class with certification. They'll get their first job and stuff. And keep in mind, all this program as well, we're learning, right? I'm sure as we move through this, other things that will pop up, there are other things you're going to learn, there are other, so keep that in mind. No one has a magic bullet. It's just a matter of, we try, we're realistic, about what we're doing, and it will get better. That's all I can tell you.
So I like how you take a question and you really address all the components in it, because I'm going through the questions here and I see that most of the questions that people are already asking, you've even answered them. So guys, if I don't I don't call out or I don't speak out your particular question, just know if you're paying attention, the essay has already answered. But someone here is saying, my question is, we have engaged in different programs organized by the government on tech. Example, the 3MTT, there's the FGN Alert by WEMA. We do the training, both online and offline, and physical training. But at the end of the program, all promises we did not see any engagement. What are chances on engagement for the Gateway program? I know you've touched base on as in some part of it, but let them look like So it still boils down to, oh, they've done this, they've done that. What's the guarantee that this is not another fluke? This is not one of those things and everything. So over to you.
All right. So if you look at it, right, so the FGM pro, so if part of it is, I mean, I'm not, I'm not at the federal level, right? I mean, federal government, or I've had a stint years back, but sometimes, I mean, you're not in the room. Why this program came up, the rationale behind it, the reason behind it, and sometimes is we would try to do something and do it quick. Yeah, so the intentions are good, but it might not work. So it takes a lot, right, to run some of these programs. Being on the back side and stuff, you might have multiple entities. You just say the FGN, WEMA, bank, or whatever. You don't know how many entities are involved in it. Sometimes things work out well with all entity because they all work together. They're interdependent on each other. They're dependencies, right? If someone's dropped the ball for whatever reason, it affects the whole stuff. So having said that, right, I don't know. I can't speak to it. I'm sure no one. I don't know that someone's just going to sit there and say, "Oh, let's run a program that's a fluke," right? You're just going to run it, make noise about it. I'm not a politician, right? As you guys can tell. So if I can finish, I'm not going to start, right? So let's finish this. Let's go through it. Get your certification, and let's see where it takes us. I'm not going to say where it takes you. Let's see where it takes us, right? And there's a lot of so, and it goes back to sometimes when we mix our style of politics, right? And it has nothing to do with whether someone is a politician or not. It's just how people drive stuff, right? There's so many things coming at you at once. A lot of folks have ideas, and you're trying to put your brain around it, and it's like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do it now, because people are and sometimes you go ahead and so that what they presented to you, like, oh yeah, we've dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's. That's not your responsibility, but you know that people have done that. Then you do the stuff, you run with it, and then now there are hiccups, right? You probably don't even know. You think that if that program is running successful and stuff. So we have those. But the goal for us is we having feedback. I mean, we could just run a program and not have this sort of session, right? Or they can call me as busy as guys, you know what, I don't have time. There's an opportunity, go through it, get your certification. But we engaging, right? We're getting feedback, which means we're doing a little bit of hand holding. We involve as the program is moving. And I know that I have access to the back end to monitor the progress and stuff. So you do your part, and I'm sure if you make it through, meet all the requirements and stuff, we'll deliver on our end. So that's all I can say. And it doesn't mean that I think there's a Chinese saying that that so there's a frog, right, that sat on a pot, right, boiling, right. So as soon as the frog sat on it, jumped off, right. So I guess the moral of it is, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't sit. So if there's a pot that wasn't hot, the frog can just sit on it. But the one that it sat on was hot. So now the frog decided, I'm not going to sit on a pot anymore. But so what I'm trying to say is, even in life, right? You might, the first person you meet might be the one you get married to or whatever. Okay, fine. Lucky you. Sometimes you might need to date. Yeah, I mean, so you might need to write an exam 3-4 times. So life just, don't look at these things as, oh, it's happened to me once, it happens to me twice. So every program that comes out, don't look at it that way. This program was carefully thought through. That much I can tell you. I mean, I've told you how we came about this program. To me, it was more about capacity building. Let's build that knowledge base, and that folks can have it, and now they can build on it. Because so we have, we always have numbers of people on the internet. oh, Nigerians are very high users of internet and blah, blah, blah. And I keep telling them that it's not a matter of high user of internet, high user of data, right? What are you doing with that data? What are you watching online? What are you posting online? And the purpose of the internet, I mean, for those that want to go do research, so DARPA, right, the Department of Advanced, in the US actually built the internet. The primary purpose of the internet is to share knowledge. So the first internet, when the internet was built, was between these Ivy League schools, universities, so professors can share research papers and stuff. So that gives you an idea, the purpose of the internet. There's no knowledge that you need that's not on there. That's the primary purpose. All the nonsense that goes on the internet now, that's not what the internet was built for. But human being with device. So just to give you an idea that you can, we have programs, Abeokutas, that's just for female, Abo female, right? And we have students that have gone, graduate of those programs. I know about 3 or 4 of them now that are gainfully employed right there in Ogun State, doing very well. I know the ones that have moved on to UK. There's a lady that studied medicine. When she went through the program, I think they did web development, they did digital marketing or whatever. That completely changed our trajectory. And now she's doing very well. So that's all that matters. For those that came through those programs, unfortunately, we had to stop that program. All funding was coming from abroad, by the way. All the funding for it. So when the funding ceased, we couldn't get funding in Nigeria. And the Nigerians are the one benefiting from it. So, to us is to get results, right? And we will get results as long as the commitment is there on your end to do your part. But if you go into it with an attitude that, oh, okay, here's another one, it's not a good attitude to have. I know that it's hard, but forget about whatever program you've gone through. I'm hoping that even in that program, you learn something from it. I hope you learn something and you can run with that stuff. But if nothing came out of it or whatever, it's okay. There's no knowledge lost. I'm talking about your previous experience, right? But coming into this program, try to have a different mindset, because your mindset is going to determine how well you perform. It's going to determine your attitude, and it's going to determine whether you're going to get over that hump. So, one more minute, then I'm off. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm actually keeping the time. Yes. So this is like an appeal from someone. Someone is saying, I beg that the government assist with laptops for participants and resource training devices. So it's an appeal. I'm just reading it
I can answer that. I can answer that. Okay. So I still have directors in civil servant today that I'm still struggling to get them to get them laptops and for their work. So if I could, honestly, if I could, I'll give a laptop to everybody, but I can't, right? And government can't. So even the people that need it within government. So remember, most government are just going through their digitization phase. Like I told you earlier, what we've done at OGRS, so now we've built it. So we've centralized a platform. We built a platform. Now people can do their taxes from anywhere. They don't have to come to OGIRS and all that stuff, right? Now, once we do that, right, the folks internally, they're going to drive it. Now they need a system, right? So I'm just shedding light on. So look at it, what's going on internally in government. We have to provide service to people. Even that, we still, it's still a bit of a struggle. Because there's so many needs, there's so many, I'm not even saying wants, right? The burden on government is too much. I don't know how they do it, but it's too much. Now, is that an excuse? No, but that's the reality of it. So, if there's something that, I remember there was a time that we had a program and I was able to talk to one of the federal agencies and they gave us some tablets and stuff. And the people that they top 3, top 4, that to them. So what we can do is, we'll have a discussion, right, with GFA. I can go, I'll write a letter, I'll ask them, because there's some federal agencies that have, of course they have all the money They have some program that, the funds are there for this stuff, not for everybody, right? But even if all we can get is 10, if all we can get is 5, then we can decide that, okay, what would be the criteria to this, just to encourage people. So that I'll take that on, I'll write, um, you know, based on the Ogun Skills program and stuff. And for folks that need it and stuff, now hopefully you have power to charge it. That I have to throw that in there, right? But anyways, I want to thank everyone. I hope I've answered at least 50% of the question. If I did 50%, at least that's okay. But
Guys, a round of
I'll
applause.
come back at some
Please,
point.
please, please, please.
I'll come back at
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah. We'd
point.
love to have you again. It
Yeah.
was really an
So
exciting, and
I'm
I'm
sure
very
you
sure
guys you
everyone.
guys will be you guys will be ready then.
Yeah,
But anyway,
the
I want to
honest.
say thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your time, and trust me, together we can get there. I'm not singing kumbaya here. I'm not a type that'll make you feel good. That's not what I'm here for. But however we can collaborate, however we can assist each other, however we can help each other, to get to wherever it is that we need to get to. I mean, let's. I know it's hard to be positive in Nigeria of today, but trust me, there are other places that was. I don't like to compare. Oh, this one person is worse off than I am. I just like to focus on where we are. Let's be realistic and let's try to make things happen. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'm not gonna have
Thank
every
you
answer
so
for you. That much I can tell you, but we'll get there. So
much.
thanks,
Yeah,
Madam Elizabeth, and
thank you so much,
I
sir.
see Dan Tani, Titi Lokbe Sali. I'm just seeing different names that I haven't seen before. Adebayo Yekon
Yeah,
Bashir,
what just yeah.
and anyways, thank you much. I appreciate your
Thank
time,
you
and
so much. I
I'm out.
really appreciate it. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
I'll just
Okay.
give feedback and try and answer the questions that most of people asked that consent that we are in the position to answer. But thank you so much for really making our time to be part of this session.
Okay.
We would love to have you again. So
All
guys, we'll
right.
be doing more of this every now and then so that you know the faces of the people that are behind this program that actually wanted to succeed. So you know it's not just the regular things that you guys have been part of. So at least we are talking and we are doing and we are being honest about it. This is what we can do. Nobody's promising you money. Nobody's promising you that they're going to hand you funds at the end of, but that capacity building, that knowledge sharing, that opportunity for you to grow your business, that opportunity for you to network and collaborate. You have the opportunity to speak with the SA here, so for you to know that these people are not ghosts. They are not inaccessible. They're people that you can actually approach. They are approachable with the help of. That's why the collaboration thing has been made possible. If there are anything that we can extend to them or escalate, we are there to we're the middlemen to make this work and everything. So I want to allow you to get off. He has. So I'll just quickly go through the questions that were asked that needed clarification. So for for those people that have not been able to have access to their dashboard and stuff like that, unfortunately, you cannot be part of this first cohort because the first cohort we need to wrap it up by the end of August. But we're going to send your all your details. We're going to send your details to you via email, and we also advise you to always check your spams because spam folders because we realize that most of the emails that is sent don't get to is either you don't see it on time or the email address you provided is not the correct one or maybe it's not your actual email address that you're using. You provided someone else's own so you don't get to see this information because we try as much as possible to engage as much as possible. So we're going to send your login details again. Those people that have not started the learning, there's another cohort that will be starting off in by August. The engagement will begin in that process, so you know what to expect. For those people that are already part of this program, this session, this cohort, I would advise you to do well because we want to. So we're structuring the program in a way that all programs, as in all cohorts, will run for between 6 to 3 months between 6 weeks to 12 weeks so that it runs that period and it's we close out on that and the opportunities that await you you can start having access to it. Now, most of the plans that we have for the learners includes, for the fact that you are part of this program, you would have that opportunity to even have a free website, was in with our own extension domain. So that way you can even start interacting and then putting your business out there however possible. Also build your own ecosystem. Those are sessions that will have engagement sessions for that to even let you know how these things work, and so that you can start onboarding your service, trying to like put your service out there, let people know what you guys are actually all about. That way you can start making money for yourself. And for those people that don't even have business, you're in the job category, you can actually help other people market theirs and share revenue. By when we have all that information, and once that we've unlocked that future, we'll definitely share. So do yourself a solid to go through your learnings. For certification, it's after the completion of the learning that you would have access to your certificate. And another thing again, certificate of learning, another thing again, you need to hit a certain percentage. That's a minimum of 60% to be able to obtain a certificate of completion for the soft skill and for the technical part. Um, for those people that the residents, because I saw someone saying, "Oh, I'm not the resident of Ogun State. What opportunities are there for me?" Like the essay mentioned, we are collaborating with other state governments to do similar programs in other states. So we've launched that of Lagos State. That was during the Salah period on Tuesday, like 2 weeks back. There is the Kaduna coming up. There's Abia State. There's Enugu. There's Oshun. There's Ebonyi. There, as we go, we're trying to build, as in the states are trying to do similar things for other for their residents of that state. So we'll always share information via your web, as in via emails, newsletters on upcoming programs, things that you need to know. So if you have family, friends, and that's in that locality or in that state, you can actually extend that invitation to them. For those people that don't have access, like I mentioned, would reshare your login details and let you know when the second cohort is about to start, so that you can actually be part of it and take advantage of the learning opportunities and also unlock. Yes, is there going to be internship? There's we're already in talks with our partners, and like you said, there are different criteria as to what they're looking out for. And if their placements will definitely, like your dashboard should be your friend. Your dashboard, there are always futures, additional futures, building blocks there for you to know what is happening part time. There's the section for the job seekers, the work for the business owners and everything. So once there are any updates, we'll always share as you go into your program. Access to this recording, yes, made available. We'll send it via email after the session. What else? What else? For those people that are asking for practical knowledge, the much we can do. The truth about learning is that there's so much an individual, or there's so much an organization, or there's so much a body can give to you. You also need to do your own part. We're providing you with the background knowledge. If you're thirsty for knowledge, you need to also go out of your comfort zone to harness that opportunities for whatever it is that you learn under the program, our program. You're free to go to, as in go to other resource tools and go to other platforms that offer similar to, like, as in broadening your knowledge. We've created that pathway for you. It now left for, oh, I want to know more, I desire to learn further, I want to take this on the next level. It's now left in your hands to want to, like, go that extra mile. We can't hand everything over to you, but we are just creating that platform for you to start your journey. And if you want to grow in that field, you have the opportunity to, like, okay, go to people that are more, that you can get the practical knowledge from. So that's high levels of things that we're going to. There's also going to be engagement sessions with mentors in different fields. Another thing that we'll be doing again during the course of the program is to categorize the different learners. We want to know the categories you fall under. Are you in the trade service? Are you in the creative service? So that we want to know you as in the service, in the field that you are operating for, so that we can have sessions specialized for those categories where we invite industry experts that would give you the basic knowledge that you need for that category. So those are part of the things that you need to look forward to as we go into the program. Always look out for the emails that we'll be sending and all. So for technical, officially, soft skill will be ending today. There's going to be an email for that. Then for the technical aspect, for those, I'm seeing someone saying there's no UI UX. Please give till by Monday, try and refresh to see if that has been added. If not, please feel free to change or pick a learning amongst the options there. Please be open to change. That's the best thing I can say. So if you're not seeing what you're looking for, go through the other ones, and you have options to change and choose and pick up another learning. So that's yes, you're welcome. So I don't know if I've been able to touch on all the concerns that have been raised. Logging in, okay. Yes, like I said, those people that are having issues with their login details, if you've not started the learnings and everything, we're going to send your login details back to you all over again so that you have access to it. If you have a direct complaint, please send to gateway@gfatech-tech.com. Please please put that on the chat box so that they can reach out. Okay, and for those people that have also opened the ticket, we'll try as much as possible to attend to all your queries and everything. So just reach out if you're having any issues. We try as much as possible to attend to as many as possible. So on this note, we would like to say thank you very much for making our time to be part of this session. We promised that it was supposed to be an hour. We don't want to take so much of your time, so that we allow you to get onto your respective activities and whatever you have lined up for the day. And may God bless you. Yeah, okay. Thank you for that feedback, Balogu. Someone said, yeah, if you're having issues, you can click on try. Like we shared recordings of the last session we had to all the learners, even the ones that have not started. So please take these informations that we send seriously. There are always informations there. Shego, I did not forget you. Send an email to, okay, let me just put it here. Send an email to gateway@gfa-tech.com. That's all about it. And thank you very much for making our time. And on that note, on behalf of all of us from GFA Technologies, we say thank you for making our time. Program, I said this first cohort will be ending in August. Yes, all things being equal. And after that, that's when you're going to have access to your certification. So far, you hit the 60% cutoff. It is not going to be available to everyone. That's just the truth about it. So we have the tracking dashboard, and even your dashboard, you will see what your learning score is. So if you score above 60, oh, just be rest assured that you're going to get a certificate at the end of the learning. Yeah, soft skill is ending. If you can't access it, oh, I'm sorry. We've given enough time. We even want to shorten the learning phases so that we can accommodate as much learners as possible within the time frame. So if soft skill is going to end today, yes, then from Monday you have access to, for those people that have not started, you fully have access to your technical skill learning. So do yourself a very good one to start. Thank you. Hi guys, so thank you very much everyone. Okay, for those, like I said, if you have complaints, send to that email address. We have our product team here that will get to it and address all issues. So thank you everyone. I don't want to waste so much of our time. Thank you everyone, and to have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of your day, and bye from all of us.